We're going to roll. All right, y'all. So welcome to 2023 Word of the Year. Excited to be going through this process with you guys today. And again, if you haven't already done so, be sure to print out this guide. The link to this guide is bit.ly/one word 2023. It'd be very helpful to have this in front of you as we go through it. And I'm going to be adding folks in here to the group as they jump in. So one of the things that's very helpful, the last page of this guide, I've got a whole list of words just to get your ideas going. So this is 108 word for the year ideas. These are just ideas. Doesn't mean that your word of the year has to come off this list. Just this list is here to help you with reference because I'm going to ask you guys some questions. And I find it personally easier to have that list kind of off to the side and there and available for me to kind of reference as we go through different things. So highly encourage you to have that list in those words available. And I'm going to mute everybody as you come in. So good morning to all you guys that are popping in. And if any of you guys had a hard time getting into the Zoom this morning, I apologize for that. My link was acting funny. But we got you in here and you haven't missed anything yet. So be sure you download the guide and highly encourage you to have these words listed. So the first thing we're going to start with this morning, just kind of so you get an idea about how this goes, is I'm gonna give you a minute. We're gonna have a timer. I'm gonna take you through some different segments this morning to think about. We're gonna cover the eight core areas of your life that I believe you really want to think about how your word choice of the year will impact those 8 areas and what you really want to see manifest in the upcoming year. So we're going to go through that, but I'm going to start you out with this list. And so I'm going to give you 2 minutes. And what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to grab a highlighter and I'm going to give you 2 minutes. And I'd like you just to go through this list column by column, just look over all of these words and just highlight anything that stands out to you. Now, don't start yet. One of the things I want to encourage you with is many of you may be coming into the Zoom already with a word of the year on your mind, and you think you've already picked your word of the year. Anybody like that? Any of you, the early student, and you've already figured it out? Some of y'all are. That's okay. And some people, you might have kind of a general idea of your word of the year. My challenge for you as we go through this process this morning is to try to clear that choice out of your mind and give this process I guess a fresh look and try to be open to what the Lord will prompt you with through this, because I've gone through this before. Usually when I come into this process, I have kind of a general idea of the word of the year that I'm probably going to pick. And then almost always I land on something different because usually something comes up throughout the conversation. Like that's the one that I really want to reference. The other thing too is I encourage you to interact when I ask for interaction. So we're going to go through different segments, and I might call on some of you. I might ask you to raise your hand and share some of the words that are coming to your mind. Be interactive with that, because sometimes you might say a word that you wrote down that someone else would be like, "Oh, I love that word." And we've, my group, my tribe has picked words of the year that are not on this list in the past. So this is mainly just here to give you ideas and to get the creative juices flowing, but don't be afraid to kind of stray away from that list or share the things that the Lord is prompting you with that. All right. I'm also keeping an eye on the chat stream, as I always do. So if you want to contribute or add or share anything in the chat, please feel free to drop comments in the chat. I do keep my eye on that. Just please stay away from side conversations that aren't relative to what we're talking about, because I do keep my eye on that chat. And so if we're talking about what you're having for dinner tonight, I'm going to be thinking about food, and then I won't be as good for you as I should be. So stay away from side conversations if at all possible. All right, let's get to it. So I'm going to start you out with 2 minutes. You should have this paper in front of you. I'm going to give you 2 minutes. I'm going to put on some nice little background music, and I just want you to go through this list with a highlighter and highlight any words on this list that stand out to you. And your 2 minutes starts right now. Go ahead. 10 seconds. And don't be afraid to write extra words on there too if you're feeling a word that you don't see there. All right. That's it, y'all. Sevilla, I'm curious, what words did you highlight, if you don't mind sharing?
Do you want all the words I highlighted?
Yeah, why not? Let's see. Let's run through some of them.
Okay. Trust, fearless, wholehearted, free, chosen, surrender, experience, and abundance.
I like that. I like that. I love that. Welcome to you girls that are just coming in. I'll share mine too. Thank you, Sevilla. So mine are, I highlighted driven, fearless, flow. You know, what's interesting. So flow was a word that I picked 2017. You know, remember that? Those guys that were in my inner circle. So this is like I guess 5 years ago. My word of the year was flow. And the reason I chose flow is because I was thinking about a river. I was thinking about the power of a river, and a river doesn't cut through rock because of blunt force. A river cuts through rock because of its consistent flow. And so I wanted that particular year, I wanted flow in my finances. I wanted flow in my relationships. I wanted flow in my business. I wanted that kind of power that would just cut through anything that was in its path, because it had that consistent flow. So flow is really kind of coming back to me this year. I've never done a word of the year twice, but I'm like, I've been feeling that word, so we'll see what happens. But I got flow, free, ignite, impact, intentional, joy, limitless, rise, scale, strength, thrive, and unstoppable. Did anybody choose a word? I'm curious. Did anybody choose a word that was not on the list?
I did.
Romano, go ahead, buddy. What'd you pick, man?
Unashamed.
Unashamed. I love that. I love that. That's awesome. Do you mind sharing what other ones stood out to you, buddy?
Yeah. Of course, unashamed. That was first. I was looking for that. I was like, oh, unafraid is on here, but not unashamed.
Yeah, unashamed is good.
So
Yeah.
I was like, but I didn't use unafraid. So it's vision, obedience, productive, unstoppable, courageous, momentum, sustain, and qualified.
I love it. Good words, man. That's good. Doesn't it feel good? Do y'all enjoy this? Like, you start choosing some of these words, and I don't know about you, but like, I completely embrace this process when I go through it and I feel it. I start visualizing my new year, what I want to see happen in my life, what do I want that to feel like. So you start declaring, you start like that list that Ramondo just shared, and thank you, buddy. When you start sharing some of those words and you start picturing what your life looks like, what your year looks like, living those words, it should trigger something in you, or you're not going about this process correctly. You should feel something as you start thinking about these words. All right. Okay, so you got your list. Let's dive into your first set of questions. So you should be on this segment, which is the one at the top, is going to be in my career I most desire. Now, with each of these questions, when I put them in here, I frame it in a way just to kind of lead into the words that you would likely choose. So in my career I most desire blank. So I most desire impact or connection or influence or whatever. But if that phrasing I most desire doesn't work for you, it's fine. You can say, you know, in my career I will be, or in my career I choose to be, or whatever. You can frame that however you want. So I just label it as I most desire because that works for me. Okay, make sense? So I'm going to give you guys, is 2 minutes enough? I think so. We'll see. A couple of these I'm going to give you 2 minutes. Some of them I'm only going to give you 90 seconds, and we'll kind of see. But I'm going to start you out. Let me give you 2 minutes and 30 seconds on this one, just to give you a little bit more time on this. What's your business on this one? 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and we're starting with in my career. And I want you just to open your mind and your heart and your spirit up to what you want to see happen in your business, in your career, and just start jotting down any word that you can think of. They can be words off of this list, or they can be words that just come to your mind as you're sharing. You got 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Go ahead and go, y'all. 1 minute left, crew. All right, y'all, time's up. Brother Paul, what'd you choose, man? Let's hear your words, buddy. And good morning to you, man.
Good morning, everybody. So I chose to grow is to create spaces for community, to scale, define and attract a higher paying client, and to build is to create sustainable revenue.
I like how you went about it. So you didn't put a whole bunch of words. You kind of narrowed down to some keywords with a little explanation of what that meant to you.
Absolutely.
I like that, buddy. I like that.
Thank you.
Lynn, did you get that one? What'd you put on those?
Yes, so I said I want to give my career my most full attention, and I also want to focus. And I also have visibility. I want to be more visible and show up unapologetically me, because I feel like I've been holding myself back.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I don't want to worry what people think. Just be myself.
Reveal would be a good word for you too. I like reveal would be a great word for you on that one, because that kind of, that's not only revealing is not only being unapologetic to let yourself be seen, but also to reveal the ideas and the gifts and the things that are up here that the world desperately needs to see from you, buddy. Thank you. Kim Wendy, I saw your comment. I'll turn my music up just a little bit when we do it around next time. I don't want to be too loud, but it's, I want it to be there. Kim, what did you put for your words?
The music's fine. I didn't hear music. Maggie was asking you if you're playing.
Yeah, I got it quiet. I don't want to be too loud, but I'll turn it up a little bit so you guys can hear it. I don't know how it's right next to my mic, but I'll turn it up for you next time.
Okay, well, I didn't hear it.
What do you got, buddy?
Was that the words or under the career?
This is in my career I most desire. What word did you put there?
I've got connection, growth, recognition, influence, accomplished, appreciated, disciplined, consistency, clarity, motivation, fearless, focused, purposeful, decisive, magnetic.
I like magnetic. I like decisive too. Decisive is a good word. I like that. All right. I had impact, flow, limitless, balance, energy, opportunity, connection, strength, trust, respect, influence, vision, health, thrive, scale consistently, and fresh. Which fresh is interesting because fresh has never been on my list and I've never thought of that word before, but that one just kind of dropped on me. When you do this for a long time, you can kind of get stuck doing so much of the same thing all the time that like I desire fresh this year. I desire to do some fresh new stuff, fresh connections, fresh ideas. So fresh was kind of a surprise word that popped off for me. All right, let's do our next round. The next one is with my family. I'll give you 2 minutes on this one and I'll turn up the music so you can hear it louder. And your 2 minutes starts right now. Go ahead, y'all. All right, time's up on that one, y'all. Maggie, what did you put for your family?
I put present, visible, available, all similar things. Loving, open, fun, courageous, forgiving, gracious, and generous.
Any words in there that you're like really hit you when you say them?
Available.
I like available a lot. Available hit my spirit when you said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. That's awesome. Melissa, how about you, buddy? What'd you put on yours, if you don't mind sharing?
Delightful, nurturing, cultivating growth, endearing, peaceful, and present.
I like that. All right. I love it. I had intentional, honest, impactful, connected, influential, present, balanced, adventurous, trustworthy, diligent, disciplined, strength, unity, and brave. All right. Did anybody have, I'm just curious because this is what I want you to look out for, y'all. Any consistencies between your first round of words and your second round of words? Like, do you have any words showing up in the first round that also showed up in the second round? You're going to want to start looking for that and seeing if any of these words start applying in each of those areas that we go through. All right. The next one we're going to go into is with my friends. I'm going to give you 90 seconds on this one, so a little bit less time. With your friends or your friendships, I most desire what? You have 90 seconds. Go ahead and start, y'all. All right. Time's up on that one. Kim, what'd you put for friendships?
Connection, understanding, patience, fun, honesty, enjoy, mindful, acceptance, encouragement, considerate, loyalty, kindness, accountability, supportive, communication, like-minded, community.
That's a good list. You got way more words down than I did on that one. Thank you, Kim. Tasha, what'd you put for friendships?
I put impact, validate, progress, adventure, and experience.
I like that. I had, let's see, with one of my friends, I had connection, respect, balance, impact, adventurous, fun, strength, and fresh showed up again, which is kind of interesting. Fresh is nice. All right, let's keep going, y'all. We're going to go into with my spouse. The other thing that kind of happens to me as I go through this too is I'll go through certain sections and a word will kind of hit me, and then I'll be like, oh, I want to add that back to my career. So I'll go back to the career section and drop another couple words in there. So don't be afraid to do that. There's no rules to this. We just want to kind of sort through all the feelings to get down to the right one. So your next one, with my spouse or significant other, if you don't have a spouse, or if you don't have a spouse or a significant other, if you desire that, or close friendships. So with my spouse, I look forward to, I'm going to give you 2 minutes on this one. And you can go ahead and go, y'all. All right, y'all. Paul, what'd you put for that one, buddy?
I put expressing, conversation, compassion, courtesy, contentment, and kind.
I like that. Maggie, what would you put for that one?
I put intimacy, unity, courage, adventure, honesty, connection, acceptance, understanding, respect, honor, boldness, and abundance.
Abundance. I like that. Thank you for sharing, guys. I appreciate that. All right, we're halfway through the questions. Next one, in my health and well-being, I most desire. I'm going to give you 90 seconds on this one. In my health and well-being, go ahead and start, y'all. Nope. 1 minute left. All right, time's up on that one. Letitia, what'd you put for health and well-being, buddy? If you don't mind sharing.
I have thrive, strength, flourish, fun, joy, vibrant, abundance, steady.
Steady. Steady's nice. Sevilla, what'd you put on that one?
Energy, clarity, joy, peace, fun, and then connection's been coming up on all of them, so.
Okay, that's
But
interesting.
I started that with mind, body, soul, like just where they all connect.
Yeah, tie together.
properly.
I love
Yeah.
that. I love that. Thank you, buddy. Coach Paul, you had a huge year in your health, man. What'd you put for health?
I put obviously next level.
Yeah.
Consistency, challenge, channel some things down, balanced, courageous, and steady.
I like steady. Steady's a good
Mhm.
word. Oh, that's good, man. Thank you. All right. That's it for page, that one, page, whatever page that was. We're on to our next section. We got three sections left. Next one is, I want people to know me as being. Like, I really want you to think about this and think about how you want to show up for your world in the next year, right? So how do you want your family to see you? How do you want your clients to see you? How do you want your friends to see you? The people that you show up and serve every single day, people that meet you for the first time, what impact do you want to make on them, and how do you want to be seen? Really want you to think about this question. I'm going to give you 2 minutes on this one. And I'm curious to know what you guys will put down for us. 2 minutes. Go ahead. I want people to know me as being what? Go ahead, y'all. All right, time's up on that one, y'all. Ramondo, what'd you have, buddy?
I have authentic, organized, peaceful, chosen, revived, and resilient.
Love, chosen. Great word. Spectacular word. Thank you, buddy. Sarah, how about you? What'd you put on that one? You have to unmute yourself, buddy. There you go.
I put joyful, fun, inspiring, enthusiastic, glowing, caring, empowering, insightful, courageous, brave, magnetic, loved.
Great words. Spectacular words. Thank you. Tasha, what about you, buddy?
You're welcome.
I have chosen, experience, purposeful, validate, impact, and real.
I'm really all about that chosen word. That chosen word is solid. I like. Did you add that from Ramondo, or did you both have that?
I had it.
You had it. I love that. I love that. Nigel, what about you? What'd you put?
I put authentic, professional, kind, knowledgeable, trustworthy, honest, compassionate, influential, joyful, connective, adventurous, marvelous, and intentional.
Mm-hmm. Good words. I had impactful, constant, balanced, limitless, trustworthy, tenacious, driven, bold, intentional, authentic, decisive, genuine, brave, fearless, free, fresh, devoted, and loyal. Does that stir something up in you when you read those words? It should be impactful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Does anybody got a word that's becoming a consistent, like it's coming up on just about all of them? Lynn, go ahead.
Focus.
Focus. Okay, focus is a good word. Sevilla, you are too? You have any consistent one?
Yeah, connection is on almost all of them, and joyful. Those two are very, very much there.
I like it. Okay, 2 left for you. The next one, I'm going to give you 90 seconds. In my hobbies and interests, I desire to be. 90 seconds. Go ahead and start, y'all. All right, y'all. Time's up on that one. Anybody put intentional as your first word about being intentional about making time for hobbies?
I got into
Yeah. I tell you what, y'all. It's funny, isn't it? Because we can be so busy that we don't make time for our hobbies and interests. But I see when I did this. Let me think about this now. It was like 2 years ago. I think it wasn't last year. It's 2020. Was that right? Yeah, 2020. I chose to be, it didn't end up being my intentional, wasn't my word of the year, but I chose to get really, really intentional about my hobbies and about doing stuff that I enjoy doing, because I had gotten so busy being busy that I wasn't doing anything fun. I was just working my butt off all the time. And so that particular year, I committed time to getting back to things that I really love doing. And it made such a difference in my year. Just having just setting time aside to do stuff that you just love doing. So I'm not gonna have you guys call your words on this one, but I just challenge you to don't pass over that one. It's easy for us to be like, this is my word for my business, or this is my word for my year, or this is my word for my finances, but don't discard the things that you love, because those are passions that the Lord gave to you when he gave you gifts to embrace them and to enjoy them. So don't pass those things over. All right. The last one, in the new year, I choose to step beyond my comfort zone so that I will. Now, with this last one, I want you to frame that sentence however it needs to be framed for you. So for some of you guys, it needs to be, in the new year, I choose to step beyond my comfort zone so that I will. For others of you, that may be, in the new year, I choose to lay down my past so I will. For some of you, it needs to be, in the new year, I choose to embrace the gifts that God has given me so that I will. It could be, I choose to release my inhibitions. I choose to step into my calling. you fill the blank there, whatever fits what the Lord puts on your heart for that one. I'm going to give you 2 minutes on this one and get that sentence right. And then let's see what you put down for, right? 2 minutes. Go ahead, y'all. All right, y'all. Time's up on that one. Okay. Those are your 8 segments. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 2 minutes. I want you to take your papers and get them kind of stretched out in front of you. This is how I do it, as I take a highlighter and I'm going to go through and I'm going to look for consistencies. I'm not necessarily going to go in order of like the first segment to the last segment. I'm just going to kind of look it all over, and I'm just going to start highlighting the words that show up consistently or the words that really just hit me. I've also had in years past doing this where I've looked over all of these words and then one word stood out to me that wasn't on any of these lists, but it's just a word that stood out to me. So the goal that we're going for here is we're going to fill out the words that stand out to me the most are, and I'm going to challenge you to pick at least 3, if not 4. I usually try to pick 4 because I usually want to settle on 4 different words before I narrow down my one. But just take 2 minutes, highlighter or whatever you want to use to note them, and just try to pick out the words that really stand out to you off this list and nail down 3 or 4 of them. 2 minutes. Go ahead, y'all. All right. Let's hear some words. Sevilla, what's your words, buddy?
Bold, confident, brave, and energetic.
Connection wasn't in the top 4, huh?
No, it wasn't. It's in there a lot, but then at the end it was just like,
So
it
say them
fell
again.
off.
What was the 4 again?
Bold, confident, brave, and energetic.
Do you know which word is your word?
I'm back and forth between brave and bold.
Okay.
But then I'm like, well, if I was confident, I would be brave and bold.
I like brave for you because you're going into uncharted waters this year. It's just it's exciting. I like brave for you, but you choose your word. Thank you for sharing, buddy. I appreciate you. Nigel, what were your words, buddy?
Purposeful, cultivate, capabilities, and authentic is what I've got to so far.
I like cultivate. Cultivate's a good word. Thank you. You know which word? Do you know which word yours is, or are you not sure yet?
Not sure yet.
Not sure yet. Okay, Melissa, how about you?
Consistent, organized, cultivating, and obedient.
Which do you know what yours is?
No.
Don't know yet. Okay, that's all right. Paul, what do you got, buddy?
Actually, just doing this in the last, these last few points, I've actually narrowed it down. I thought my word was remain, but my word is steadfast.
Let's go.
And so the steadfast, and then I tied Psalms 1:1-3 to it about the roots and the water and the never withering. So, but I got to head out. This has been awesome, man.
Appreciate
Thank
you, buddy. Thank you for joining, man. I appreciate you.
Love y'all.
Maggie, what do you got? Let's hear your words.
I have available, focused, genuine, authentic are kind of the same. So they were on the same plane, and fearless. But the one that isn't on there at all, as I was thinking about this whole available, genuine, authentic thing is kind of a theme, was vulnerable.
That's interesting. Vulnerable is a good word.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Narrowing. Yeah, you're not there yet. You got some narrowing to do still.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. I love it. Thank you, buddy. Kim, what do you got?
I have growth, progress, visibility, influential, and impactful. And I haven't
Not sure
decided.
yet.
No.
Okay. That's cool. Romando, what do you got, buddy?
I have revive, steadfast, joy, and sustain.
What's revive mean to you, if you don't mind sharing?
Revive means everything to me. Recently I wrote a book called Never Fold Again about my experience in overcoming of depression. And so everything is relating to just being rejuvenated now, being revived, because I was at a point where like I was in the dark. You know what I mean? I wanted to kill myself. I didn't want to be here anymore.
Yeah.
And to go from that to really loving life, I feel revived and I feel
I think that's
rejuvenated.
When you said revive, it hit my spirit hard. That's why I wondered what that's got some meat behind it.
Definitely revive. Definitely.
That's a good word.
I think joy is going to be my word.
Okay. I love that.
Because now I know I've always focused on being happy. I just want to be happy. It's in a lot of songs. I just want to be happy. You grew up thinking you just want to be happy.
Yeah.
But happy never really sustains anything over a long period of time. So I'm focused on joy this year.
I love that. I love joy. Thanks, buddy. And thanks for being transparent. I appreciate you, man. Lynn, what do you got, girl?
I have focus, limitless, visible, and discipline. My word, I thought I've got it on my board there, was focus. But having gone through this, I think it's going to be discipline.
Okay. That's a good word.
But I need to be disciplined if I'm going to be visible, if I want to be limitless, and if I want to focus.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's good, and I love that. And I've taken different approaches to the word of the year in years past. In some years, I've chosen words more based upon. I've chosen words in years past based upon what I wanted to experience in my new year. I've chosen words based upon how I wanted to think in my new year. But then I've also chosen words based upon how I needed to be in the new year. Discipline fits that one because
Yeah.
a lot of people will go about the word of the year in a fluffy approach where it's going to be abundance and it's going to be, but you don't, if you lack discipline and structure and commitment and consistency, you're not going to have abundance,
Yeah.
so your word of the year probably ought to be consistency, type of thing. So don't be afraid to let your word of the year challenge you a little bit. But so I love that for you, Lynn. I think that's awesome. And thank you, buddy. Tasha, what do you got, girl?
I've got adventure, chosen, purposeful, and progress. With chosen and progress are the highest.
Chosen and progress. I really like chosen. What's chosen mean to you? Do you mind sharing that?
In all the questions, it's just I kept seeing myself. I would like for people to, or the business, or whatever the question, to actually choose to work with me or spend time with me, or just like to be on the opposite end of people wanting to work with me and be chosen for a change, than trying to push and put myself in those positions,
Yep. Love that. I like chosen. Chosen is a good word. I like chosen a lot. Thank you, Tasha. All right. So if you have not yet narrowed your word of the year, your homework for this weekend is to think about each of those words and what you might do. And the way I've gone through it in years past, when I've kind of been down to maybe 2 or maybe 3 words that I wasn't sure about, I would take a minute, the bottom of this page, I put down there, what does this mean to you? And I would just take each word and I would just try to narrow in on that one word, set the other words aside, and try to write out, what does this mean to me? What does that word represent? And what do I want that word to represent in my upcoming year? And try to do that with each word that you're wrestling with. And then based upon that, usually you'll come to your conclusion, because the one that means the most to you should be the word. So I do that. And that's kind of how you can narrow that down. Now, a couple of things that I recommend. I did this for the first time last year. I've always done this myself, but I encouraged my crew to do this last year, was to write a letter to yourself based upon the word that you choose. So we did this last year and it was cool. So my word for this past year was strength. And I wanted my business. Strength represented so much. I wanted to be, strength for my family. This past year, we had brought a new child into the world. So we had a family of 5 now. And so I wanted to be strength for my wife. I wanted to be strength for my family. I wanted to have a different level of strength in my business, where I knew this year was going to challenge my time and my energy more than any other year that I've had in my business, for a variety of reasons. So I wanted my business to have a strength about it, where I didn't have to work so hard at marketing, where my business would just have core strength, where it would just generate business without me having to work so hard at it. So strength was a big year for me. So I'm going to read the letter that I wrote to myself, so you guys can get an idea of what a letter to yourself can look like. So I wrote this letter to myself the day after we did this Zoom last year, put it in an envelope, and I opened it this morning. So I saw it this morning, and this is what I wrote to myself last year. The letter says, to Justin, what a year you have had. You chose the word strength as your foundation and focus for the new year, and look at all the ways that strength has manifested in your life this year. Your business is stronger than ever, and a large majority of your new business this year has come from referrals. That is a testament to how hard you have worked to serve your clients, meet their needs, and build their trust. There's no greater marketing method than the voice of a happy client, and you have proved that to be true this year. By the way, 70% of my new business this year has been from referrals, which is huge, significant, right? What a year of transformation you have had in your family. Your strength, resolve, and consistency has broken through the walls that have created such tremendous difficulty in years past. Just look and see how the Lord has restored so much of what the enemy has stolen in your life and the life of your family. Your relationship with Courtney is stronger than ever. Jackson is such a beautiful and strong little man, and his presence in your family has been such a joy this year. His best and your best with Courtney is yet to come. Your discipline, hard work, and commitment to your family and your business has brought you a tremendous return in so many different ways, many of them unexpected. God has been so good to you this year. You have been a good steward of what you've been given, and he has blessed you with increase. This year has truly been a year of the Lord's favor and blessing on every area of your life. So that was my letter. I had a hard time not choking up tears reading this letter this morning when I opened it to myself, because that means a lot to me in a lot of different ways. But this, so when I wrote this year, when you write this letter, this is a declaration, right? You're declaring what you want to see. So choosing this word is also a declaration. This is not a fluffy process. This is not I'm going to pick my word and stick it on my vision board, and that's going to be my word of the year. It's a matter of, what do I really want to choose for my year? What do I want to be intentional about? And what do I want to see manifest? And so when you get through this process of finally choosing your word, I challenge you to try doing this. Try writing yourself a letter and expand upon what you want to see. And if that word completely unfolds in your life in this upcoming year, and you get everything that you want out of what that word means to you, what do you want to be reading in a letter to yourself a year from now? Write that letter and then stick it in an envelope and put it away somewhere so you can read it a year from now. It's a blessing to go through that yourself. So I encourage you to do that. My words that I narrowed down to this year were limitless, impact, flow, and fresh. And my word of the year is going to be limitless. So I'm going to write a letter to myself based upon what limitless means to me. And I'll have that ready for next year. Another couple things that I encourage you guys to do that I did this past year. So once I chose my word of the year, I went to Hobby Lobby and I went and got some of these wood letters and I painted them, and then I basically stuck them down on all I did with this thing is I just stuck it down on my desk, put it together, and I literally just took a stapler and stapled each of the words, each of the letters together so it holds up. And so I've had this sitting on my desk right here for a year. So it's a constant reminder of my word of the year. So I'll be doing that with Limitless as well. And then the other thing that I did too was I had a necklace made. So you can get these on Amazon, but I had a little pendant necklace made with the word strength on it. And I've had this around my neck for the year. The point of all of this is a reminder. That's the reason why vision boards are powerful. It's the reason why vision boards are impactful if you do them correctly. Vision boards is not just about sticking a bunch of magazine or pictures or whatever on a thing, that this is all the things that are going to happen this year. The point and the power behind a vision board is that it's meant to be a visual reminder of what you want most and what you choose and what you're deciding to experience in your life. So for me, the necklace and making the sign on my desk, for me, is just a matter of continually reminding myself of the strength that I needed to have throughout this year. And it's exactly what I got. So just a couple ideas on how to kind of take one word of the year a little bit further than just putting it down on paper and choosing it. It's about really creating a vision wrapped around it so that it really becomes a foundation stone in your year, because that's the idea. All right. That's what I got for today, y'all. We did that so good. We did that in an hour. Usually this goes long, so that was pretty fast. I did record this, and I'll send out the recording via email later this weekend for anybody who wants access to that. And if anybody wants to share it, feel free to share it with anybody. If you got anybody in your world that couldn't make it this morning, but you want to share that video with them, once you get the email that has that link in it, you can share it to anybody that you think it's. I make no money off of this. It's just a matter of I want to teach people this process. I want to teach people how to go about this process in a way that really will create impact in your life. All right. So guys, I appreciate you. Thank you for transparency, and thank you for being camera on, no matter how we all look this morning, and being willing to engage and hang out. Was that a blessing to y'all? Was that good? I love it. All right. You guys rock. Have a great weekend. Have a great Saturday. Get about your weekend, and I will see you guys around the web, right? Take care. God bless y'all. Great to see you guys this morning. Thank you.